Imagine walking through a pristine, untouched forest. The air is quiet, and you are completely surrounded by raw, wild biology. Beneath the roots, you find something startling. You are actually standing on the ruins of a long-forgotten city park. To the birds and insects living here today, those steel beams are just part of the landscape. They don't have a concept for concrete, so they interact with the abandoned infrastructure as if it were simply rocks and dirt. Now, let's take that local city park and scale it up to the size of the cosmos. What if our entire universe operates on that exact same principle? This is the core of the Inherited Artifice Hypothesis. It suggests that highly advanced life doesn't just build temporary tools, but permanent, stable environments. Instead of being the very first intelligent life forms waking up in a completely natural universe, humanity might just be the new tenants moving into an ancient, abandoned cosmic engineering project. This picture of Nick Bostrom represents a famous idea, the possibility that we're living in a computer simulation. We have to look past that. This theory deals with real physical objects. Ancient builders could have physically rearranged space dust and asteroids into stable solar systems and durable habitats. Eventually, those builders might go extinct, but their massive infrastructure is so durable it keeps running on autopilot for millions of years. Biological species can vanish quickly, but perfectly engineered physical environments can outlast them. They sit there empty, acting as perfectly balanced incubators waiting for new life to emerge. Millions of years later, fresh life naturally sparks, evolves, and thrives entirely inside one of these abandoned, stable environments. That brings us to a very obvious question. If we were actually living inside a giant machine, wouldn't our scientists eventually see the gears? This is a kind of built-in blind spot. A species born entirely inside a designed environment has no wild world for comparison. If a massive structure is the only warmth your species has ever known, you won't recognize it as a machine. When mapping the hard physical limits of their world, they simply write those limits down as the laws of physics. When an entire society grows up completely enclosed within a designed background, that design turns invisible. It ceases to look like an artifact and simply looks like the world. We can move past the philosophy to the actual math. Why is it so likely that we live in one of these pre-built worlds right now? It comes down to a branching model. We have to compare how often civilizations appear in raw nature versus how many environments a single advanced culture can leave behind. This single dot represents one civilization born in an untouched primordial environment. If it matures, it might engineer 1 million durable environments before vanishing, leaving a massive web behind. Over deep time, those stable, abandoned environments could spark their own new, entirely unaware civilizations. This is where the numbers take over. Because these engineered worlds branch out and multiply, they eventually far outnumber the slow, one-at-a-time birth of natural ones. Strictly by the numbers, the math suggests the vast majority of intelligent life in the universe will be born indoors in a pre-built environment, not in the wild. To be clear, this hypothesis doesn't definitively prove that Earth is engineered. It simply reveals a mathematical pattern in how civilizations likely develop over billions of years. What this idea really does is ask us to drop a deep assumption. We are used to thinking of nature and technology as exact opposites. But across long enough stretches of cosmic time, nature might not be a fixed physical category at all. It might simply be a matter of perspective. Early civilizations are born in raw nature and have to invent technology to survive. Later civilizations are born entirely inside ancient technology, and to the populations growing up there, they simply call it nature.